Hi guys, today I'm showing you how to paint these Dreamy loose flowers, and these are the tools I'm using. Firstly, I'm weighting the whole page with a large size brush. As you can see, the paper may buckle a little in the middle, but don't worry, as when the paper is fully absorbed into the water, the paper will become flat again. You can also wait until the paper becomes flat and then start painting. I'm now adding some cadmium yellow medium hue, diluted quinacridone rose here and there to the page. Don't purposely layer color over one another, but it's okay if a little overlap occurs as the color spreads slightly. Now I'm adding some Cascade Green and Serpentine Genuine with the same brush. These two are granulating colors, but you can definitely use non-granulating paints in similar tones if you don't have these specific ones. The brush should hold a bit less water if your paint is highly dispersive, otherwise it will spread too far and may blend with the rose and yellow tones or turn muddy. If you notice any harsh edges in the color blotches, you can soften them with a clean brush like this. Keep the brush at a similar wetness to the paper. Just avoid adding too much water as it may cause unwanted backgrounds. A creative method I discovered while experimenting is using white ink. This can also help soften the edges on a very wet page like this, but it needs better water control. So if you don't have white ink, don't worry, the previous clean brushed method works perfectly. White ink is simply useful when you want the colors to merge together effortlessly and create a soft, misty effect. It also helps brighten the surface, especially when your original watercolor paper is slightly yellowish. Then I'm adding some Cascade Green again on the page. In this way, it will add some depth to the previous vague colors. At this stage, keep the water on your brush a bit less than the amount you used for the previous colors. So I switched to a brush with a much thinner head on purpose. First, I don't want the dark color I'm adding to spread too far, and second, this brush naturally holds less water than the thicker ones I used earlier. In this way, it can make the water control much easier. Now I'm dabbing some quinacridone rose and a little yellow onto the page. If any unwanted harsh edges appear, you can use the clean brush method again to soften them. As the paper dries, the color will look paler, so you can add some thicker color again to strengthen them, but try not to overwork it. If the paint looks like this on your paper, it means your brush has too much water. Now you should use a napkin to blot the water off your brush, then use the same brush to lift the excess water from the paper. Right after adding the green, I'm loading some quinacridone rose to the brush. The ideal water amount is similar to the water on your paper. By using the right amount of water, you will see that the color you dab on the paper will not be spreading wildly, and this would make the whole process of the painting easier. After dabbing all of these rose dots, immediately I'm dabbing some yellow paint by the rose splotches like this, still keeping the amount of water similar to the water amount on paper. This is important if you don't want unwanted backgrounds to happen. In this step, you see that the rose and yellow can merge naturally together. Also, for some remaining paint on brush after painting a few of them, you can make use of the powder color to paint some faint flowers. This way, your picture will have more depth and variety. Now the paper is much drier but still damp. I'm taking a liner brush from Davinci and loading some ivory black to the brush. Try to keep the amount of liquid minimum on your liner brush and at the same time, do not use a very thick consistency. You can achieve this by using a napkin or absorb excess liquid on your brush after loading thoroughly. When you paint the stems on the page, paint them in one continuous straight line from the top to the bottom. Otherwise, they will end up with an even thickness where the parts of the lines connect. You can find out more about this tip in this video above. If your stroke still appears too thick, that's maybe because your brush was holding a little too much water. If this happens, you can use a dry clean brush without any paint to adjust and soften it a little, and then it'll look natural. And when you do this, avoid going through areas with thick colors as you may accidentally lift those colors too. Now the paper is much drier, but not 100% dry. I'm lifting some bubbles for some dreamy effects. Or I didn't use a hair dryer or anything to speed up the drying process. For this painting, there's no need to rush it dry. You can work with the paper as it gradually dries, using each stage to create varying softness. This paper may not be bone dry, but it's almost dry. At least the paint you add on the paper will perform as if it's already very dry. So when I'm adding the color for the full front flowers, it will appear solid with clear edges. I'm mixing the rose color with a little yellow, which is the same color mix as the previous week flowers. Then I'm adding the stems. As the paper is dry now, the stems are much easier to paint without needing to worry if they will spread too much or appear too thick and unnatural. Finally, I'm adding some white dots again using white ink without any extra water added.